Just how important are cell phones in our daily lives? Well, they keep us in contact and organized, right?
Let's see. Okay. And while we joke that most people are dependent on them, there's some new research that suggests we might actually have an emotional dependency. Do you know people like that?
Probably.
Yeah. Dan Grossman has more.
Let's say you're taking a walk in the park, you see someone, you don't really want to say hi, and you don't know what to do. Many people, they'll whip out their phones, look down at it, and pretend they're not even there. In many ways, these devices are our security blankets, and they dictate how we interact with the world, even when we're not using them. What word comes to mind when you think of your smartphone?
Time. Connection.
Needed.
There are opinions and feelings.
So when you think about your smartphone, what words come to mind?
Necessary.
Yeah, very personal.
And then there are evidence-based facts.
Phones have transformed our lives. They're very personal, but at the same time, they have a darker side that we should be aware of.
Anair Sila is an associate professor of marketing at the University of Florida. During the pandemic, he sought to figure out how our phones affect us, and his research shows they affect everything from how we talk, to how we shop, to how we interact with the world.
Something that just makes you feel more comfortable. You reach to it when you feel a little nervous. Obviously, when it's not around, we can get very upset.
Sila's main finding is we see our phones as an extension of ourselves, and therefore act more emotionally when we use them. When we shop on our phones, Sila found we're willing to pay more for things we view as expressive and unique. And when we talk on them, we tend to express more polarizing beliefs than when we're talking in person or even on the computer.
So I actually argue that our phone acts like a sort of adult pacifier.
Shiri Melamod also studies phones as an assistant professor of marketing at the University of Pennsylvania and has found the effects go deeper. When we scroll social media on them, she says we're more vulnerable to believe fake news. And when we're talking with people, we're more willing to share information we wouldn't share otherwise. Think friends, strangers, even scammers.
People are more willing to disclose intimate or personal information when it's elicited on their smartphone than when it's elicited on their PC. And part of the reason for this is this idea that we feel sort of more comforted when we're engaging in certain tasks on our phone than on our PC.
You can't go a day without using it at least once, like for some purpose.
They are integral parts of our lives that offer convenience and connection, but we know that.
It's a chronicle of my life.
It's the parts we don't always pay attention to that researchers suggest we study more closely so we can be aware and use them for good. I'm Dan Grossman.